Hey everybody, I'm filming from my desk today, so I hope you don't mind the change in scenery. I wanted to talk about Hobby Lobby versus the Supreme Court, or technically Hobby Lobby versus Sibelius. The issue is Hobby Lobby doesn't want the insurance that's being mandated across the nation that they provide their employees to cover contraceptives. They take a religious issue with it, and are seeking the same exemptions that churches and certain nonprofits have. Now, I want to tell you this matters to me because I know firsthand that Hobby Lobby isn't evil. It's actually a pretty decent place to work. I worked there for just under or over a year. They didn't open too early. They didn't stay open too late. Closed on Sundays and always hired above minimum wage. And as I just checked out, they're going to be raising it again to close to $10 an hour as their minimum hiring rate. So I can tell you, yeah, I had to deal with some super Christian people, but generally just cool people looking for cheap stuff to decorate their house with. I consider this a positive example of religious freedom. But they're pushing for the same exemptions that churches have for the same reasons. But Hobby Lobby isn't a church. Now, to me, faith is a very, very personal choice. And that one person making that personal choice is accountable for that choice in whatever way they perceive it's going to be. When large groups of these people get together, they form churches. Now, a member of a church is someone who agrees with the church's stance on certain views, certain interpretations of the Bible, certain views on community issues, etc., etc., etc. Whereas an employee is also a member of a group, but not one that implies agreement on such issues as contraception. Therefore, employees should not be restricted or coerced in their personal choices by their employer. After all, the main reason people work at Hobby Lobby is work, not faith. They can come in with faith, or they may be inclined to work at Hobby Lobby because of their faith. But at the end of the day, if you're hiring, and I need a job, like I needed a job at the time, it doesn't matter what your beliefs are. If you'll hire me, I'll take the money. The Equal Employment Opportunity Act forbids discrimination on basis of religion when it comes to trying to find a job. So as a natural consequence, Hobby Lobby will always have employees that don't share their beliefs. And Hobby Lobby knew that going in. For example, when I started at Hobby Lobby, I was all but an atheist. I've got a friend who worked at a different Hobby Lobby location years before I even really knew anything about it. And he was a professed Satanist. He doesn't really say that much anymore. But he was a Satanist working at Hobby Lobby. Irony. So, Hobby Lobby cannot say they have the implied consent of their employees in this decision. Despite being an outwardly Christian business, imposing a restriction available to others under the ACA on the basis of religion is an act of religious oppression. Hobby Lobby is arguing for the right to supersede a person's right to their religious freedom, like the freedom to decide for themselves what all that God stuff means to them personally, and impose corporate mandates on employees' reproductive rights. Hobby Lobby is not a church. They cannot reprimand employees for extramarital sex or for preventing a pregnancy. Okay, alright. Next point. Nobody likes abortion. Not even pro-choicers like it. Nobody loves it. Whatever your opinion, you have to acknowledge that that is entirely about unwanted pregnancies, unwanted children. Everybody knows that because this will cost more time and money than this, people use these to prevent these. Barring either of those choices from people who may or may not share your religious views is religious oppression. Alright, so here's another point. Abortion or contraceptive restrictions frequently in America come from the religious side of politics. And quite sadly, that fails the constitutional test. Alright, so I just looked it up to make sure I'm right. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. Okay, you can hate gays, you can love slavery, or enjoy bombing abortion clinics. But if your only reason is God, then we can't make any laws about it. We're forbidden by the U.S. Constitution from doing so. It's called the Establishment Clause, or the Religion Clauses of the U.S. Constitution. Don't like it? Move to Iran. Oh wait, wrong theocracy. Don't worry, Mr. Green. There is a way to resolve this situation with the laws that exist now in a way that'll make everybody happy. So, religious nonprofits and some charities have won the right under the law to restrict contraceptive coverage for their employees. So, take your company that sells products from all over the world, made by mostly non-Christians at below slave wages, and turn it into one of those religious nonprofits. You would have to make a humble salary as CEO, and so would all the rest of the officers of the company, and then turn around and make sure you send the profits back into the community that they come from, and the form of charity to local charities or other churches, or however you want to do it, that's up to you. It really is a choice between love of your money and the love of your faith. Pretty sure the Bible is clear about that. In the end, like those employees whose faith is different and varied and highly diverse through all 400 of your locations, it's a very personal choice. One that only you can be held accountable for. One that only you can make.